They are live. So if they come in here. Yap in their rooms, tell them that they are live and being recorded.
Sure.
Yeah, oh, it's not, this is the new, you all have those. I paid for a lot of, watching the those. So, you know what?
Yeah, you are fishy.
You see the show about it.
Yeah.
I'll get it. Let's see what the, all that is. We got these. At the beginning, actually, I'm from, I share some more. And. Man, what happened is it's like the food we used to have. Well, that is gonna be, you know. Yesterday I made a bunch of breakfast. I should see it for a while. They might. Thank you.
Yeah, we got cereal.
I'm making pop. Yeah, it looks great.
Sweatshirt. Like, you know, I'll change it.
I think he is, you said. Said. Yeah. We're gonna probably love that. All the copy they have. What? How old was that?
Now, you have to.
No, being on the beach. Yeah. One of the here.
And run up.
I remember that house. I saw you.
Sorry, property already. A real nice property.
Oh, yeah.
I put the guy, you know, almost. And then he beat with me.
And I have two for you.
No.
For 10 more pounds. I swear. I got it.
What you made that to? They are
No.
living,
They
but we I think it would be good. And I really want to sell it. Yeah, really.
Richmond.
Yes. Is it? It's a strange market. Yeah.
No,
I don't.
Talking about smart.
I think no,
Last year.
I actually sold it to a buddy. Yeah, he's already.
It is an adjustment.
And he is sitting.
Forever.
So he may hire you guys with the next.
Man, farms look really good.
The properties look good and all that. It looks out. Oh, yeah. They did. Yeah, well. We were starting out. We're all one. Love how what do you need?
Hey, I heard that they're in that,
That's true.
yeah.
What?
The
What?
gentry,
Yeah.
yeah. That's pretty cool.
The old bridge.
Yeah. That's.
I always.
Wow.
I'll people.
So you welcome, hi,
You wouldn't do that.
you wanna take me down? Hi, Nancy. In forever. I know. I'm good. I did. I did. It's called Handle. It's a TC company. And they do they work.
Who's all good about?
TC free.
Higher.
And so simply the little goes into company. Just.
So, hey, you all right?
He's good. His hands are great. Good. His hands are really good. So we can come down and buy us to get them.
I'm taking the name off the wall.
Yeah, they took his name off finally, so. Yeah, and I think they probably are gonna get
I see it. You hear it, see, okay.
Hey.
Fancy.
I'll take it.
I'm glad you do it.
Yeah, I do something. We can design for my email. So good. That's interesting, but yeah. That's how far.
That's good. You go find them. There's something. I don't know what it is.
You get here for commercial day?
No, it's a
Young commercial. I'm like, dealt with about 3 months ago, I was on $1,000. And you can find me.
But he's doing good.
What's worth money?
It's called Mixoid
And
Light.
the one I buy it to 20% down plus, and. You were doing it with 10,000, 10%.
But it's good. Hands are good and, notification. He and I are like, it's giving me, I don't like it in my notification. It's just that's the name of it.
You out of
He's giving me, I don't.
lot of giving props.
You know that. It's of course he works. So I remind me, he like, yes, this is the friend, it's like, come on. I don't know, but it's negative.
You taking it with him? Yeah, I'll tell you.
Well, I heard it. No, I don't think so. Like certain something happening, it's that like, I'm saying, like, they're taking it, I have to put a shoulder and shit. I'm not thinking about it, not this thing. Oh,
I love it.
that's not me. Here, Monday. Like,
That's enough.
that is. I don't know. I don't want any. It's overall. It's full, like.
You guys got commercial questions?
Yes, we are here. Commercial station.
I don't know. It just sounds.
I-
He's not gonna say. Got it. Anybody want water?
Okay.
Water?
What's fun? Commercial.
In the past, we have just done like question and answer.
You know.
No.
I guess able to learn the report or, okay.
You don't really have presentation. Have you ever seen anyone?
Yes, I mean, anybody else want anything?
No.
So.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, how are you?
Good.
What was the boards?
Well, Carol. I saw her, but I don't know.
I'm probably little, I think I know everybody else on it.
Me either.
What is it?
Biggie Joshi.
Biggie?
Joshi.
Joshi.
Right.
All right. So, Biggie, where are you from?
I mean, originally,
Yeah.
from Nepal.
Nepal?
Yeah.
So how did you end up here?
I came here in 2004 when this, I was in Houston, Texas, when I first came in. I was there until 2014, so for that. 2015, I imagine. Was there shadows covered?
And like I'm reading far away. But.
Hello, how are you?
Baby?
Oh, hey.
No, thank you.
You live in these malls?
Yeah, sure.
And it was bad, that's the country.
We don't have anything really prepared. Is there questions that you guys have? I mean, we can kind of talk about the process, specific questions.
Yeah, our parameters here is really, we're crazy. We're doing things that,
And we're having to go out and state a lot.
like 50% of what we're doing, not even Kentucky.
Yeah.
Are you limited? I mean,
So it's a-
you know what the numbers are here?
Well, okay, I mean, so to get a deal in Virginia, I mean. You have to have, you got a license here, you have to.
Yeah, I think if they need some referral agents, because referral. People to the commission, generally, list agents. Get the bulk of the commission on business. Like, I gotta fight for my commission, I just, well, on call this morning, I was like. 6.8 million, no commission, I had the commission on that. And we got, and they're advertising it with the co-broker, we like, so I don't want that.
But what they're really saying is they're gonna keep all paying.
And they're gonna just, I have to two, I'm gonna take 1.5. That's typically what I get. When I go out of state, that's what we believe people, when they come here, yeah, we reciprocate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like this whole commission deal, I mean, that's our world,
It's been like that for us forever.
you know, it's just, kind of levels the playing field.
Okay. Yeah, weeds out, you know, but you know,
Yeah, I don't feel like it's fair, I don't feel like it's fair. You're like the fire, you can't understand the value or service, we commercial. But, my guy in the areas it's late, yes. Seriously, yeah, I don't think they undervalue a good broker, residential.
Okay, how are you up there?
But we need you.
Oh, look at this incredible.
Yeah, I need that.
What can I help you with? Is this a commercial class? You have a touch for me?
We're a commercial round table.
All right, nice, good. You guys know me, like, here's what I'm gonna tell you. I bought commercial property, rented a lot of commercial property. Never once have I represented myself. Am I right?
Never. And you get a better deal using me. I don't know.
That's an added fact.
I'm just telling you, you guys get underrated for your value for a residential deal because the fees are, there's a guy that's willing to do it for
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in a good market. I feel like residential realtors were overpaying the pound market.
But it now in the first, like you put up a listing on the house, in the first, before anybody showed you, they call you and that's what the commission is. Isn't that kind of how it works, like? So.
I don't get asked, and I don't ask anybody, I just put it in the
I'm gonna
offer.
offer.
Yeah, it's all in favor.
We, the new contract, you can actually.
The new contract's horrible.
Nice, awesome.
Love it.
There you go.
It's good for a buyer, it's all, it's good for them, good for a seller's.
Here's you got some old school agents and they say, legacy contract, please, right? You guys get that, that's the old one. Here's the problem, what they don't like about the new contract is there's a 15-day due diligence period and they can walk for anything during that 15 days. And then the old school agents that don't like that part are like, well, that's just bullshit. I'm like, well, in the old contract, you could string it out to 45 days and walk for nothing.
And get away with nothing.
And get away with it. And, well, no, not to, I'm like, oh yeah, because it's as long as they're moving forward, they can just keep kicking that date out.
Yeah.
Moving forward in good faith, I know the contract, and that's what it said. And they're like, well, yeah, but no, in 2 weeks, Into that due diligence period, they can't get out for nothing. No, I don't care if the inspector comes back and goes, hey, I forgot to mention that wall's getting ready to cave in. No, well, we'll pass your due diligence. You're an owner. Get that wall fixed when you move in. The point I was gonna make when I saw it earlier is, with everything that I do, as long as I've been the name, if I'm doing anything in commercial, I have Eli represents me because I don't jump in there myself. So that's a little takeaway for you guys from the round table. You know, pull someone in. Pull someone in. I get agents that call me with commercial deals and they're like, they want me to help them, and I help them as much as I can. 1 out of 20. Now, 1 out of 50.
We'll close.
Yeah, we'll close. I mean, it's like they never close because they're they don't know. They don't know how, all the ins and outs, right? Of the due diligence and, you know, hey, well, you think that they're buying a big this, you think 2 weeks is good? I'm like, what, how about 60 days due diligence? What are you doing? Right? So, your batting average goes up dramatically when you pull in somebody from our commercial team.
And I was telling them like 50% of our deals we're even in the city of Kentucky.
No,
We're doing deals elsewhere.
your stuff, most of your stuff isn't even on the market. It's all off market. So when agents come to me, residential agents come to me, they go, hey man, I stumbled into this deal. I'm like, that's the way it works. And they're over their head, but you know what it is? It's a $2.5 million house, and I see the big check, but guess what? They're so far away from it, they don't always remember that, but
And I've had agents come really close to closing, and they wouldn't.
Eli doesn't even write his own contracts. You have an attorney write your contracts.
Yeah. Majority of the time.
Yeah. Majority of the time, so you just think about it. All his experience, all the deals he's written, everything he's done, all the people on his team, everything. Brian's a commercial appraiser. And yet Eli's gonna bring in another layer. Because, hey, residential, deal doesn't go, everybody starts crying and gets mad and goes out and kicks their car. In commercial, they're like, well, it really sucks coming for that ass, right? I mean, oh, but the commercial folks, when it goes south, it's not.
The money's already given, the money's in the, we typically don't use brokerage houses for yesterday. It goes to the person that's closing.
Yeah.
Right, it's like 100 grand, and then 100,000 after ED. So it's serious fucking cash.
Yeah, it's just, and here's the thing. You learn a lot more too, you know, anyways, I thought that. That's my guy right there, right?
Thanks, guys.
Betcha.
Thank you, Zemo.
I put an offer the other day and I put my 3% commission in there, and then the agent texted me and she said, my seller's only offering 2%. And I just wrote her a message back. I was like, look, if your seller is interested in your offer, I was like, let's negotiate the terms of the contract and not my commission. And she was just like, okay, but I feel like that's what people should be doing, is negotiating the other terms and not the commission.
It's the hot button right now. You know, seeing in the media and, you don't have to pay, you don't think that it's still like that's a.
I guess at the end of the day, my thoughts were, my client likes the property, but there's gonna be other property that pop up that she's gonna like, so I can get over 8% regardless.
I mean, whether it's all commercial or residential, time is money. You could do a deal with that client right now. You're better off,
You take your money and short 50 houses.
because the time is money, and you know, things change. You know, but that's how we're selling fucking houses today. But then tomorrow,
Right.
and then the next day, because the longer you go, fucking interest rates change. World. We lost 2 deals through the fucking terror. For sure.
Yeah.
I lost a big referral deal, I lost a big deal in Danville, that was a hospital deal, that was just gonna resign an extension. And when Trump did that, the big beautiful, all his cuts of USAA, they received like 25% of their funding from USAA, and they were like, we can't sign the lease, and we don't know about our funding. Like, I thought you guys were a private hospital. Well, and you know, all they did was like turn off the spigot and see where the holes were. You know, when he turned that thing off, I think everybody's gonna get their money. It's just they wanted to see where it was going. Save the Children, a huge nonprofit. Well, I didn't know 35% of their budget came from USAA. I thought it was like they raised money to rich people. Well, apparently, rich people, they get it from the government.
You mentioned yeah, well, you mentioned a lot of money going to the escrow goes to the attorney where it was closed. I assume the same one, write your contract, right?
Yeah, it goes to the title.
I heard the other day, he was talking to this guy in between the golf, and then he said that, I'm saying pretty good, he said, he's $60,000 down. And escrow, it's non-refundable. It doesn't go, and he said that each month we don't close it, he's $7,500 rent. So is that common, you don't have, non-refundable, that was big, totally different, you know?
Well, I guess in his mind, he was foregoing $7,500 a month rent, so he's paying that money, you know, so you're sure.
He kicked it down the road about 3 months already.
Yeah,
He break 64.
yeah.
So he's.
Yeah, and we should like that.
Is an attorney, and when you use the attorneys to write contracts, it's much easier to do that kind of stuff and try to use, you know, see, it's not very much easier. But I don't want to keep everybody here. Is there specific questions that you have, Paul? I mean, we're here to answer questions or.
Where do you find that $6.9 million?
That one was in Pittsburgh. Wood here. And a lot of free websites and you know, you gotta have a buyer. You gotta have the buyer. We should do a lot of bullshit. Find that diamond like. Our ratio, I mean, the letter of offer we right now before, like 2 years ago, I wrote off, I had a 50% 50% the contract. And then I was like when I go into contract, I was like 90% closing. Now, when we write offer, then we're like, what, 2 out of 10? 3 out of 10? And then we're like 50-50. Like there's so much bullshit in what we do, so much time. Like, you know, like probably like we went to Louisville last week. There's 2 walking in Bob. And one of them was like the corner of Mayberry and lost. You can't do it.
The 4-lane road went down to 2-lane country road.
And then they went to a dirt road. Yeah. They changed this and that fast. And one of them was good. How I called the guy like, hey man, because we typically buy something on a cap rate, which is like it's an annual, it's an annualized rate of return. So when we negotiate, we always negotiate on a number. I'm like, hey, the number's good, and just throw that one out. I didn't get good, the guy agreed. So and then we had a roll off yesterday. It was like 18 mortgages lined in, and they said they can pull them all apart and redo it. I mean, it's just a lot of work.
Now, how would you, what influence would you have on mortgage? You said 18 is like a lot.
Wow, it's got a civil rate of 3.1. So that makes it real attractive because it's half the finance charges. Yeah. There's just a lot of nuances. I mean, it's not a straight up world. Like I would have offered 2 weeks before I got a response.
I need a multi-unit, not to switch subject, but
Be multi.
yeah, yeah,
40.
like 40.
40 units.
But anything, yeah,
They're one for ridiculously fucking.
I know.
They're going for like 6 caps right now. Which is too low. Like when something's that low, you get to put 40% down just to make your cash flow. Just to make it cash.
That was the reason, because one of my contract failed about 3 months ago. The lender wanted my buy 20% down, but it was not in the equation, 20%, he was okay with 10%. We got through. So it could be the.
Commercial units always.
Was it a house?
No, it's it kind of it had about 3 tenants.
What?
It had 2 tenants.
Three tenants?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was in Leestown Road.
Okay.
All that shopping center on the right hand side? He was trying to buy that with 10% down?
Yeah.
In commercial, you almost always have to put 20 minimum. Just kind of keep that in mind, like 20 minimum. And sometimes if it doesn't cash flow like.
Well, what they're looking for in commercial, they're looking for a 1-2.
Actually,
Once you
you're doing, convenience store businesses, so. Even though they have a tenant now, in future, once they lease up. They are trying to run their own business, yeah.
Well, they're looking for a 1-2 cash flow, which means like. You collect income 120% greater than the payment. So if the payment's $1,000 and your net collect was 1,200. And I mean, that's just the math they're looking for. Without that,
And you gotta pay whatever you gotta put down to get to that.
yeah, we could see, like, if you would refer that, we probably could propose that.
In fact, we do the rest.
Because people don't have a problem with things when you set the expectation. If you don't set the expectation, they have a problem.
I didn't know, that was my first, deal with commercial, so I didn't know how to go with it. So I contacted a couple of people and somebody referred to contact you, I did contact you, we connect that. I didn't hear from people.
Oh, yeah.
Say,
You can call me, I don't know if you make that. I don't use any of those. Yeah, the best way to get a hold of me is just call me.
If you don't want me to call you.
Yeah, so if you can't find my number, just go to any local bathroom, it's all. No. You know what I mean, we're a good time. No, but like, once you set the expectation. It's easy. Like I tell people all the time, you can put on my name, it's 30% down. Break back, like I had a friend, he's, man, I don't wanna do what you do. I'm like, okay, then you got this house paid for, what do you wanna buy? And I did the math for him, and once you saw the math, you go, well, I don't wanna do that, that's what it is. You know, I'm buying for the future, maybe rates will go down, building costs keep going up, land prices keep going up. So we're buying for not today, we're buying for down the road. Cash flow's gone.
It really is.
You said something about, as you look at the numbers, if I'm the owner, at least if you lost the lease here, a couple days ago. The triple net lease concepts, how frequent is that? How common is that?
Depends on the property. Like retail, very
Gas
common.
stations,
Single tenant property, very common.
office space, not really.
Okay. Single tenant, like residential.
No, single tenant commercial. Where you would have a building, and then you take care of all the maintenance, you take care of the taxes, take care of the insurance. In retail centers, it's still triple net, but you pay that. Your pro rata share of how many square footage there is in the property
Split.
You pay your pro rata share of the taxes and insurance, maintenance and all that stuff. It's a retail, typically retail, triple net property.
You just sounded cool.
Oh, that's great, all operating, I mean, takes a lot of those, generally those are really low returns. I just did one and we had to put about 37% down to get a 6% cash on cash return. And that's a good return.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a higher cap rate than normal, like most prime example, like a Starbucks, will say like a 5.5 cap. Which means you have to put like pretty much 50% down just to make the payment. Just to make the payment.
Yeah, that's, I watched that one.
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting a trophy type tenant with usually a trophy like location.
Okay, that'll pull people in, okay. They'll bring people in.
Yeah.
They're going to get a coffee, go shop somewhere else.
Yeah, it's basically for just, you generally roll into those with an exchange where you sold something that you really, so you bought something that was easier to manage. What are you gonna do with the guys and you released them?
no, they really don't,
Yeah.
They still in the market or they sell?
no, it's still in the market. I think they pick it up, but, still, I had another closing, residence closing with the same, listing agent. And she was asking me if the guy is still interested. No, that means it's still in the market, but I think it's operating off the market.
You know how you
Might own to me.
you know how you can do that, have them put 10% down and have the owner take the 10% back. Yeah, it's owner of the basement.
Uh,
For 10%, if you get 80% of the money from the bank, and he puts up 10%, and your guy puts up 10%, you could do that, yes.
no, that's good, that is.
Wouldn't let it work, but you could do it.
That's the kind of information I think I need to stand with, don't think about. Yes, you think, oh, I'm gonna come up, 40%, whatever it is, but if you get. You still clever enough to gauge the conversation, start the conversation where this is. Yeah, make a good deal, like you said, it's months, get it done.
Takes a while, average incubation period, like, it's generally not the buyers that hold it up, it's the sellers. Like, I've got a deal that was supposed to close at the beginning of January. I mean, I'm sorry, at the end of December, tax purposes. If I could just close it last month. And the sellers held it up. We were like 4 months on. Brian got a deal, he just closed 2 to 3 years.
How often does the bank come in and like hold you off? And in the sense of where he's, okay, looks at the deal, they got both parties agree, and then. Once the bank comes up with their 50% of the deal, they say, well, we don't know what's going to happen. And I really hear banks trying to control the situation, which they're saying, we're bringing you the money, I see that. But how often does that? Which you deal with multiple banks?
We do a lot of things.
Not at all.
Some banks get turned off, some banks get turned on some situations. I deal with lots of things.
Yeah, I just, well, my residential too, that don't give the keys. I would, I guess somebody I know will run with me, get the deal down, I will run, kill, and when you're 6 months in.
Man, it happens. I just had a guy, he was buying 2 duplexes off me. And he was going to a credit union because the credit union only wanted 15% down. Well, they use a 40% expense load on rental property income. And when you put a 40% expense load, a property is negative cash flow. So they wanted him to put more money down and all this shit.
That's what
They did the appraisal, they did everything and didn't close.
that's what I'm saying, is they sort of lead you along until you get right down to the nuts and bolts of it.
I had a bank tell me, like, within 24 hours before closing, that they wanted me to put more money down. I said, no, I'll just go somewhere else. And we finally worked it out. They're just being assholes. And I was like, no, I'm not telling them.
Yeah, I just said, in my experience, you don't like working, things outside of the savings. But you've got people that will come with you, have banks in Pittsburgh, Richmond, Detroit, stuff. And they don't understand our
People get those for different folks, you know.
But when you said that 6% cap, you said it's really pretty good. Is that what's based on, what would you compare it to? I had an example one time, I said, what CDs play? Would money be better off CDs, or is it gonna be better off investing in this? If you get the return solid enough where it's worth, investing.
There's a lot of tax benefits as a realtor. You could really beat up your income to your valuation. You should always be investing. You should buy at least 1 house a year. Year, sure.
Shit, I'm broke. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Can't buy $100,000 trailer right now.
We should.
Everybody starts somewhere.
So, yeah, I got, really some property, basically, have
Residential, it's not cap rate. It's hard to cap under residential property. If you just cover your debt service, because if you use a 35% expense load, it's really hard to make money on residential. But the appreciation is so significant. Well, you don't need to make cash flow if you're getting 13-14% appreciation here. And you're getting appreciation on the whole amount, not what you owe. If you buy a $200,000 house and it's appreciating, call it 10% a year, that's 20 grand. What do you care about?
Is 10% appreciation realistic?
In this market, it is, yeah. It's not gonna last forever, but right now it is.
Well, let's say from 19, from 20, till now, really.
Yeah, yeah, a house has been appreciating 10%. What you said?
Yeah,
Here,
5% in some areas.
We call it 7.
I mean, even 5 is good.
Yeah, even 5%, 5% on $200,000 is, you know, $10,000 a year. Your down payment was only $40,000, $10,000, 25% cash on cash. I mean, and you pay it down the principal, there's lots of different ways, residential is really safe, and it's hard to screw it up. But I don't know anybody that buys a single family home that loses money.
What is the ideal size of a single family unit that you normally?
3 bedroom, 2 bath, 40 square feet.
Less than 17.
Yeah, in this market, like a 325 is a good price point for a rental, probably around $2,200 a month, that's a good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I plan to buy at least one property a year.
You should, I mean, that's how you grow. Any other questions?
You see much appreciation on residential, you see capital property appreciation, capital property, or I'm not. Commercial property, you see that kind of appreciation also.
No, commercial property is strictly by capital, it's strictly driven by income.
Okay.
We haven't had any appreciation, we had tight cap rates though. But no, we haven't seen the matter, it's strictly income based.
You see 10s or 12%.
No,
No,
7 is as good as you can get this thing.
really.
Yeah. I wish. I haven't seen
It's people coming in here from outside of them.
they think they can get
Yeah,
it,
people think very people, they have Louisville. So they'll
you can't get it in Lowell.
got off, the people think about all this major metropolitan area.
No, you're not getting, I mean, usually when you see cap rate that high, the probably got something wrong with it.
Rental
When
property.
the last thing that you see, Brian?
It's broken. No one I've seen in Catholic. All town.
Maybe I haven't seen the same cap since I was in office.
So cap rates are a function of interest rates, so when interest rates are 3%, cap rates are gonna be.
They're supposed to be,
lower.
they're supposed to be, but right now they're not in correlation.
Yeah, they're not really.
Yeah, like, right now with high interest rates, you think cap rates would go up,
They have gone up a little bit, but not anything in correlation to the.
not anything correlated, I mean, there's too much money on the sidelines. Like with we have 7% interest rates, cap rates should equal. Should be like a quarter point or half point above the interest rate. Not anymore. Well, they weren't in correlation either when the cap rates were 3%.
When you say sideline, banks aren't.
No, there's just so much there's so much money in play, people have so much money that it has a, now, how do you offset a high interest rate, let's put more money down.
Yeah.
So now, like, people are just paying cash, they'll put like 50% down on stuff, or instead of doing a 20-year mortgage, they do a 25. To get that lower payments to have higher cash. Yeah. Like I was doing a deal with a lender and they were like, we want you to do a 25-year. I'm like, I don't want you to support something that's 20, but like, yeah, but for our books. We have to log this as a 25 to give you that 1.4. We can categorize the loan differently if we do it this way, we can give you that interest rate. So you can pay extra, but the loan's gotta be booked for this one.
There's the communication level with financial institution. That's significant, you gotta be able to speak their language or understand.
Yeah, I get it, because I mean, they want a global debt coverage higher than 1.2.
Yeah, correlation, what do you say,
Coverage, debt coverage.
So how is commercial appraisal different from single family?
That's a Bryan question.
Right?
It's the same, The sales, the difference is gonna be the income. You have to be a little bit more sophisticated to do the income. Cause you take the property income, less the expenses, you come to a net operating income, and that's where we were talking about the cap rate earlier. You divide that by the market cap rate. Sales are kind of this, it's like a residential, I mean, the comps are harder, you know, but it's the same sales, but the incomes. And I mean, like a residential appraiser can't do a commercial appraisal.
So when you compare, within the residential houses, how many days back do you go and compare?
For commercial,
No, residential.
I think residential, they want like within 6 months or something, like it's very short. Commercial, you could go 2 years or more if you had to.
Yeah, because it's all income driven.
In commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're a house, not income driven.
and there's more sales, you know what I'm saying, like say you have a hotel, like there's maybe a couple hotel sales a year, you know what I'm saying, so you.
People call me for sales data in California. About something in Lexington.
Yeah,
They just look
How would
for,
that be a comp?
they're just looking for income driven numbers.
yeah,
Oh, they'll call me by the deal that I did 3 years ago. You remember what cap rate was?
Yeah.
Like, I had no clue.
But, well, there are communities in California, like Modesto or someplace like that be comparable in size and population anyway, so I can see that, that would give that'd give them a good argument.
Is there any specific questions that you guys have? I mean, we're always available, like,
Yeah, just.
and commercial's so broad that like, if I could get in here and talk to you about. You know what I'm saying, I don't know so we just kind of like to answer people's questions, you know. Kind of one of the things, if you get a commercial deal, kind of one place to start is like my opinion is the PDA. Kind of figure out what it's zoned, and you can go pull the zoning ordinance and figure out what's allowed there, or they're very helpful if we call the planners, they'll talk to you. That way you're just not wasting any time before you know what can go there.
Yeah, and call us.
Yeah, you can
Just
call us.
set the expectation.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing.
yeah. So
We're really good at leasing, I mean, like, everybody knows somebody that's where we generally, where we thrive locally is leasing. Send us your people, we can get it in the place quick.
yeah. And we do, Georgetown, Winchester. Richmond, so we the surrounding counties, we kind of work those areas. Or know somebody that does, we don't.
How much you get, if you're leasing, you don't always own the property yourself.
No, we lease on the people.
How do you pay down that?
Just saying, 3% of the total value.
Yes, okay, if you net it all out, 20 years, 25 years.
Well, like I say, it's only a 5-year with options, you only get paid on the 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
All right, guys, so thank you.
good seeing you guys.
Appreciate everybody.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, guys. Next time we'll do lunch.
I thought you were gonna have them. Next time,
Save you any money. Shoot.
I don't even know how to go about it.
Well,
Even like the OLI, like, I don't know how, yeah. Do we brought that up, or Larry brought that up?
well, it probably needs a lawyer review, yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, my seller, which you would represent. If I like, charge $250 per month.
Right. I feel like if I was to have somebody that was wanting to buy like this hotel over here, I'd like to give it to them.
Well, I think what I asked you is, they get part of the deal, I think 3%.
Oh, yeah, that's what they want.
3% of their side. I mean, if you have both ends, then they get 3%. If you have the seller, And it's some campus, somebody else brings a buyer, they want, add what you get. Since. Well, that was a conversation I had.
But how do you, make these people just cold call them, like, anything?
Yeah, that place over here, or I got talking to the church. I'm just trying to find, you know, if he's not ready to go, I'm trying to just stay close enough for weeks. Trying to see him. And they'll try you for a little while, about 6 months, listen. Plus it lives. And that piece of land that I was trying to make. It's around the other perfect piece of property, so. And it has it. Too many players, too many siblings. And complicated. That's just.
Yeah. I mean, even like the liquor store, like I swear, like, I mean, I've got people looking for liquor stores, I've got people looking for gas stations. But it's not like, if I run into it, I'll just call them up, you know, if one guy doesn't want it, then I'll go to the next guy.
Yep.
You know, but it's not like I'm out here like trying to find them something.
And he did, I'm sure. Looked at it, yeah. Would you buy it? I want to see something, they don't want to give you numbers. So you show them, I can buy that one either. You
Sorry.
If it's like having one, they only want to. About each probably, anybody looks at showing you. If the numbers. Very performing numbers. This is what I've done in the first 3 months. So this is what I'm gonna do in the next 9 months. You know, so that hard to stay excited, so that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Gas station makes them so difficult, I'm always saying. Everybody's.
No, nobody wants to sell.
Yeah. No.
Everybody knows their property value just.
Yeah.
And they're like, what would, I mean, unless they have to, you know, but.
The situation that I've seen them say, is they had this agreement, they've inherited it, four siblings inherited it. It's just, Brandon wants his 25%, and they can't pay for it. Other than,
Our business is doing really bad.
yeah, in certain markets, certain areas, you know, it runs out, they change the road, and change, put a bypass in. And that one on the corner of Main and Lost, like this we said, well, it's you know, not getting near the traffic. You know, now there's no, there's a quick stop over here on the Circle Road. It's right across, right in the middle of bunch of, even art lots. And, you know, there's not a room to park, so these are, you have to fight to get a parking spot. And they definitely even sell beer. It's just convenient for gas and sandwiches. It's the 7 o'clock in the morning, so you can't turn around and people waiting on. I mean, not only breakfast, but waiting on lunch.
Right.
About both. Spend 20 bucks in the next 2 years. And you get that. I like to have a deal like this right here and drive to. Our hotel done 75. That was selling.
Yeah.
If you break the ice.
Now you would have a couple of actually, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it's a waste of my time. It's not a waste of my time, but I do know if someone has something coming up or if I just hear something, I know automatically will call. Like, and that's all, like, that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to go out here and trying to find it. I'm not gonna be cold calling nobody. Like if it pops up, and it's just cherry on top.
I think it's commercial stuff, 93.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure even like referrals, like I still gotta split it. That's just, you know, I'll play the way.
It's $32.
Yeah. That's what I thought about when I'm, some,
Good. It gives you some rhythm, it does give you. Yeah. Okay.
let's see, if that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm getting burned out. And, cause I'm just out here trying to get a deal, trying to get a deal, trying to pay my bill, trying to pay my bill. And then it's like when I do get something, I just look at it, everything that I split, and I'm like.
I see you.
But then I do look at it, I'm looking at like, you know, that they create and. You know, the fonts and stuff, 'cause I'm the world's worst at fonts. And, but they make it, they do that stuff, like,
Well, smart girl. Just come sure. Share, it's all got its back.
oh, yeah.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, Nana, she puts everything in, she does all the marketing, she updates our clients on what's going on. No, I'm like, but that's worth it. But when I tell you, well, Charlie does, and you can be like, hey, here's $500. Who's going to do contact 500 out of the paycheck? That's close. Yeah. And I, like. It is, it's like, yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, she's exactly where she needs to be. And now I got my sister. I'm like, I swear, she's always one thing after the other with my family. And I'm like, at one point, like, I probably need to like. Oh, yeah.
Back morning, whenever she wants. Say you told you.
She's from Loyalty.
How do you feel?
Yeah, her boyfriend passed away. No, it's just me. So it was stressful. Well, her and her boyfriend both were living at me at one point, and I ended up picking him out, and she followed him. But I think it's just too much anyway, and then once I found out there was odds, and okay. Here. Yeah, but yeah, he's good. He's graduated. He goes. Oh no, don't worry about that. He oh, he's living life right now. He got like $500 for graduation. I think like 600 total, but oh shoot, he got. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still at the movie theater. Oh, he's working now. He's picked up extra shifts. I'm like, I know he's probably feeling like, you know.
Well, he's making his own way. Well, I just say about it. I would say, you see it going at you both ways, and you go talk to your mother, and I know. And, you know, you want her to be safe. Get it, like, feel like she's, you know, severe. You gotta pass it. What the grace. Right, you love them. You go on and I just. All I did is I took it, the whole thickness. So it's really proud. I think you'll remember to each lady. Yeah, 6 months. Just made and issue. Then, you know, and they're unnatural. The system was very responsive. Yeah. No rubbish. That's. If I lost it. Because there.
Yes, you take care of Scott.
Yeah.
What's going on? I am. I was thinking about going across the street and grabbing some sushi. I got my dad at the house right now, my sister's. Well, my dad's just here visiting. I know, well, my sister's living with me right now.
I do
But-
think the context of what she's talking about, and was great.
I
Because I
have
think
to,
they might be
it's a long
about
story, her boyfriend passed away, I want to say it was drug overdose.
that.
Yeah. She got
I was receiving.
a week behind the job, she's just figuring out that my thing.
I was why you basically, which I don't know what. Yeah. I mean, if I
Always
feel like,
something.
like a lot of they not thinking that was. Actually not.
I'm using the book, you just don't even know. But my dad is over there talking to us right now, so,
The pros.
yeah. It's always something, you know, like I can't, you know, life just be normal.
It is sweet now.
Yeah. Did you see when my mom brought me here right now?
You brought your those?
My mom brought me these.
How much you swallowing around?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
awkward.
I always never felt caught up.
Oh. Or you, that's, pancake for food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I need to do something.
I had to do the house. Well, I'm sure everyone down with it.
All right, sounds good. All right, bye.
Dude. The mom brought. Oh. Dude, I don't just figure out all those because I really fun.
Said what I said, that's pretty good. So, that's something to just think, command this conversation. Say, oh, do this, move, I can do it. And I'm not looking out the phone. That says I already have it, already be lost to a contact in your database. Shouldn't be the case. Here's something.
I'm gonna go grab some food, I'm hungry.
We got it.
I have no clue. I'm hoping actually my sister's just at the house and she's got something cooked, cause I know my dad's over here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, tuna fish, something like that'd be cool.
I'll see you.
Well,
See what I'm talking?
Well, you here for.
Well, I'll take previous. Money, I'm sure, our assets. Even lost it. You know, it's like we passed away from being. Big. But generation. Not thinking about the state. Section. State.
Hey, you're busy, what are you doing? How many do you have for today? You gotta think of call back. Just, and David had, for dad, my brother, we're all playing this morning. Yeah. Now I can get shut down, so. Nothing's working. You know, there's some, not responding, something. They said. I get they didn't want it, or something. Anyway. Tried to get her flight last night, couldn't get one to work. Yeah, Rich can leave this morning, she's out there over. She's going to Denver, her sister can't pick her up. Anyway, this one, working on my mindset, really. Colorado Springs. It's eastern part of Colorado. It's a different looking. He's 77. There you go, man. So, he's been on dialysis for a couple of years. Of course, I can case things. Case they don't have revenue. You know, I wanted to know where, what I really want to know the mindset was. If you don't hear from me a couple of days, that may be why. I think I was, the way I look at it, she's looking for head for like flying on Monday. Well, I don't think we'll be there. Dramatic corner. Again. It's like he's in the last 2 or 3 weeks out and just that. Close to it. She wanted me to come this morning and I just get around, couldn't make it work. Johnson's saying was a baby shower this weekend. And somehow I got invited. But I don't need to be out there while they're I'm in the middle of making a very hard decision, so. And he may live, he may live another month. I think he had a stroke Wednesday. Good day, could have guessed like nobody checked. Well, you know, maybe worth. No. Yeah, I don't know, but he acts like he doesn't know. I don't wish I had kind of pressure. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Yeah. I tease him a little bit. I try to name it. I give a couple of names. Yeah. Yeah. See, they know I'm kidding. I don't. Tell me wasn't naming that pretty quiet. That's good. That's what you want to do. That's fine. Oh. One of those things you know, one of those things you know comes. I've thought through that, I've thought through that myself, I just don't wanna flinch. Really, because not why if it ends up they name after. Somebody that's not very appropriate anyway, in my mind, but I'll let them deal with it. And if you get right down to it, I know that she'll do it. He's just, well, you just see that it happens and what it looks like, but I'll let them. You just want to be happy. Boy. Yeah, yeah. Good health. That's pretty much everything. You got good health, but the rest of it should come together. Obviously, she could be in trouble. That's scary. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I see pictures of it. You, you're concerned, you're concerned about it, you're concerned about it, I can see. You understand. Anyway, I just wanted to catching up with you there, man, I meant to holler at you on the weekend. I think they slow down. Yeah, I went out Sunday. Stuff that spot. Nah, no, I mean, I thought it looked nice myself, nice, and nice centerpiece and Rob was standing there. You did a nice job on that, on it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I thought the shepherd's crook was real nice. And I bought one just about like it. I might have had a hot low. I just stuck in the edge of the yard. He got another, he could have parked them. Anyway, I'm gonna off here and let you go. And, I've got a checkbook in my car out. I'm going to send you a check. Get that done. Adam. I was right, I did look at them and just, but, you think, if you're concerned about me speaking out of school, I won't, but, you know, I looked at that property on the site, if you want, you, You had a good acreage there, I don't remember how flat it is. They, hey, no, I was thinking you might get it, I mean, just looking at it, I don't have it right here in front of it, it seems like it's about. 115, 120, something like that, 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 that rate, that sound reasonable to you? Oh, across the street. 188,000. That what you're saying? No, I'm just trying to get, what the value of it. What kind of value you get out of it. And, I was still poking around, say, too, it's so hard because, it's a lot of acreage and, you know, if it's flat, if you can get to $2,500 an acre out of it. There's nothing else on it, but it's not it's got a lot of hillside to it, that restricts it a little bit. Yeah. But I get to work too. Good to hear from you. I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye-bye. It's, how you doing? You in Jasper? Good, good. Good to hear. Hey, I just was touching the base with you. Do you like your little handsaw? Look like it'll work. Yeah. Well, I mean, it seemed like I think there's something did you cut a deer up with it? Mhm. Yep, yep. Good. Good. Anyway, any luck with your running? Perfect. Sounds good. Good to hear, good to hear. I've had a little, it's not a hiccup, just, you probably anticipated, but been angry on an airplane this morning, Colorado Springs. Their dad's not doing, man's not doing very good. I hope that didn't change our plans. Very. Hang out with Kayla. I'm still planning to come home Friday night, golf with you on Saturday morning, I'll stay out of the way of the rest activity. Beat my way back. That's okay with you. She, he had, I think he had stroke, not responding to anything. They moved him up into intensive care. So that was enough for her, she said, well, I better. Let's go be the support piece and. Yeah, that's where she's. Yeah, just only took we're gonna get down over. Because she's optimistic that they might get him into some type of PT that might help him get back to some normal life that I was, we can't live on dialysis forever. I knew that was short term. Anyway, I just want to let you know what I was, where I was, my mindset. Uh, Very good. Yeah, I'll go back and Lexington. He'd be back here by 6:30, so. Never heard of it too, so. Anyway, looking forward to it, and then. I'll, she wanted to see everybody, she was saying, that the role. Let's see. What she got to you. My others, that was part of her. So, last 2 days. Bus. She did ask me to come out. But. Yeah, anyway, give that guy. Fix your sandwich, you say he's fixing a sandwich. What you say? Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm the actor myself. Love all of it, man, talk to you soon. Good, man, bye.
Here's the email of that. That's it.
Then sent another email. With 12 properties including. Here, just confirm your order receipt. With the partners.
I don't know. Well, is that what you mean? Yeah, it's just a couple of numbers, but like, they're all not like, we're meeting. Oh. Like, they're there, or not, but it- yeah. But they're recording. So, I prior to the multi-year plan, it's fine. Yeah, okay, yeah. But I something. Because the FFA is going to get the month reporting appointments, all of that. The multi, it should be reporting, right? They're reporting appointments on the computer. Which should be, we should mention that. Yeah.
But I will tell you this, they just said they did, they review Jackie. It went really. Are we on, like, swine or? Okay. Well, I wanted to show you that. She was. The first 30 days. Like I can't do. Oh, I wanted her to, I just wanted for her to, I mean, but she had it. She had that in out. Yes. Yeah, but she didn't, want she had the. So like she needed, she felt someone to say, go to the back, yeah, which is fine. So, some of them are doing some of them are doing bar. She knows what she needs to give me, she's a student, right? But every time she does something. That's pretty good, okay. Because I got that I here. So like, you know, we started the. So, yeah, just. Biggest things to listen about. I was all one scale. It was like it's not. Yeah. Okay. And you know, she's like. She's done. She's gonna get on solid back to that city to go. And it's trying to you. And when there's no. And like that often lost. She lost. Are you got house that we have her line. So these are required. Your name. I'm glad. We should do her. They did. We had. Lemon health. Or they should have. Liability. They looked at it. So, but she can be. You're a teenager. Ellie's here. And you're here, doesn't need to be doing anything. But only 4 minutes.
And what they get about me, did they get a question, and all these people, brothers, best friend, no, I was wondering. What, I just, yeah, I know we, I'm like, go here. He said to them, okay. Well, that was. Okay, but he did before. Okay. I mean, I guess it's the first time we met after, last year, I'm like, yeah, oh, I'm like, ooh. I answered her, that's fresh, I answered her. The people go, we're not having. Okay, well, you met there. All this, yeah, I love that, both the, you can, anywhere and not raise your car. Like, wow, we don't like, you know, Walmart. Wait, what's happening? You know, it's yeah, it's bank, it's not here. Oh, yeah. That is, yeah. Yeah, me too. And so. Okay, so. And it please, there's. And, receiving orders that are like eating and. She was. Like. It shows she done. She, I just need to say. Just. She, my mom, it is said all the, she says. It's not. It's not. Here. I remember your thing. See, I'm the first. Hello. I don't do that. I don't know what to fix it. Everything. I can't look at her back that. And everything out of us. And all I'm saying is what should like our thoughts are going to be to they got not talking. I would go to they not so I have to look at this one. And this what I've been through. Yeah. Well, I'm saying there's getting, they're getting it all, yeah. Was Chris, you not say it? No, no, I was just literally like rolling out, like, what I was doing was, she was like. I was just sitting on like sort of scripts that I like more sort of like. She goes. Like, goes, well, exactly, you tell the buyer, this is the next step, right? Our sense is agent, but they're in the, right, that thing, or, yeah. Yeah.
However, people say it's.
But like, just didn't have any time. She has, I asked her about, any girl. But I. Said nothing. Right. And, and she got it. Hold on. Yeah. And she probably there. Yes, he does, awesome. Yeah.
Could be flexible about making MLS. We can work on this.
Yeah. Let's go. That's why I go. The board,
Just confirm you can see. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
I'm sure I'll be. Oh, yeah, so, he's the president. They have an issue. Very good. Or, it's, but it's even, right. Yeah, Bryan is, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But not like. He's very. Being that she made them that they lost to every person. And there's a video here. As a chief. And she. My date, I think, but my, yes, my, and I'm being online, so right away. I mean, from. Exactly, then. Leader, I, last route, this is supposed to have about, but I've been like, yeah, I just. So I'm in the last, like, route for my income. Right. No. So they're gonna graduate you all, so you started. Right. I don't know. It's just a company. But if I get it, probably get a lot harder. Oh, that means silence. She girls enjoying her. Yes. Better than most exciting. Really, I know, see. And Grace and her board meeting is almost.
Show that all the. Each should really reduce, and that's what they call out. See more individually. Super amazing, so. With that. A lot of people also understand why. Oh, I was super. Wow.
Yay! There we go. You get better, yeah, I like that. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very positive. Yeah.
All Sherry.
And
Hey, I'm in my office. Yes. If the other videos, I think it's, do you know where Shakespeare Company used to be? Okay, that's. Okay.
yay!
All area. Exact paper for all, and what is it? It's a good place. Yeah, I'll just all need in here. What? It looks neat in here. Hey, that's our, from Oxford, yeah, not, I think that is. Yeah. Draw a line in fire. Remember your line. I have to. I really, it's sweet, probably some. And it's a little text, you probably would think. You better. And you know, I think it's not very. Like a constant, so you could read about. We have one. And we can be for 5. Okay. Yeah. This is.
Yeah.
It's a big problem.